It's already January. And if your direction for 2026 still feels unclear, I need you to hear this. You didn't miss your moment, but you did miss your identity check. What do you mean by that? Everyone else is running at their goals right now for the next 2 weeks, but you might feel stuck or foggy, disconnected. And that's not because you're behind, but it's because you're trying like hell to plan a future for a woman that you aren't anymore, or that you feel disconnected from, or you probably don't even recognize anymore. If that hit, or if any of that feels true, stay with me. This episode is not about goals. It's about who is setting them. So I've got to break something pretty simple but pretty unknown down for you. Direction doesn't come from planning harder. If you are one of those people that feels like you are setting the exact same goals this year as you set last year, I have news for you. It's because you are not planning from a place of truth. True direction in your life doesn't come from planning harder. If you are a goal setter, if you're somebody that always plans out your year, but you feel like you keep planning the same year, this will help you, I promise. Direction comes from knowing who is planning. Now that might sound a little vague, right? I'm gonna break it down. I'm gonna tell you what I mean by this. Most of the time, women aren't lacking motivation. You probably have plenty of that. Whether it's a back against the wall kind of motivation, whether it's a drive to hit this goal, or whatever it is, you probably have enough motivation. But most women do lack alignment. Alignment means knowing who you actually are and living your life and planning your life in line with her, with you, the real you, not the you that you've been living as for the last however many years. So you've probably been setting goals from pressure. I should do this. I probably ought to do this. I have to do this for work. This is what so-and-so wants. This is the societal pressure, whatever it is. From fear, from obligation, and also from versions of you that were built to survive, but not to lead and not to thrive. And unfortunately, when your goals are just built on survival, they collapse once you have some clarity. And it's not because they failed, but it's because they weren't really ever your goals to begin with. So let's talk about the woman that you've been planning for. Let's name her. Here are a few. The responsible one, the dependable one, the strong one, the grateful one, the woman who held everything together, even when it cost her herself. That woman did her job. She kept the lights on, she kept everyone safe, she kept the peace, but listen carefully. She is not who you are anymore. You are not meant to stay in survival forever. It is unsustainable. So every time you are setting goals for her, your body resists, your energy drops, and your clarity disappears. And that is not failure. That's grief. Weird, right? The baseline truth of all of this that I've been talking about is when survival becomes your identity, freedom feels unsafe. Because survival actually taught you this equation right here. Ready? Certainty is safety. Even if that certainty isn't good, it is safety. Risk or unknown equals danger. And your desires, because probably they were unmet, are a threat. So when you're trying to plan for freedom, for your desires, for something other than certainty, your nervous system says, no, I want to ask you something. If this life that you've built, if the place that you are in right now collapsed tomorrow, if everything went away, would you feel safe in your own hands? Most women can't answer that question honestly, because either you've never thought about it before or you have, and the answer is scary because it requires some big change. I'm not going to leave you in this place of knowing that, I've been living in survival. I can't do anything. This is why I'm not moving forward. This is why my direction doesn't feel right. I'm not leaving you here. Let's talk about what actually works and how you can get there. So actual direction and a plan doesn't come just from vision boards alone or mindset changes and motivation and all that kind of stuff. That's all great. It's wonderful. But by itself, it doesn't work, especially if you've been living in survival. And if survival has, unfortunately, but unknowingly, become your identity. So let's name that first. So the first thing that happens is that we need truth. Direction comes from truth, honesty, clarity. So step one is to stop forcing answers. That sounds weird. What do you mean? It means that you don't need the whole plan. First, we just need to know what isn't true anymore. That's step one. That's everything. What is not true anymore? Step two is where the shift starts. It is identity comes before intention. Who are you now Not who you had to be, but who are you now? And then step 3 is that safety has to be next. Your body must feel safe enough to tell you what it wants, to be able to move into the next step. So if you've been living in a survival state, you have to name it. You have to understand that becomes your whole identity. Survival, being able to walk through some of the things that you've had to walk through required it. It did. But that is your past. So step 1, stop forcing the answers. Figure out what is actually true now. Step 2, who are you now? Not who you had to be, who are you now? Step 3 is understand what is safe. Are you safe now? That's important. And then step 4 is that your direction is going to follow trusting yourself. And that means you have to know who you are and know where you are. So you have to have some honesty. Start there before you try to start planning something else. Figure out where you are, who you are, and then you can figure out where you want to go. The moral of the story is that you are not late. You're not behind. You're fighting this kind of feeling like you're walking through sludge. And I promise that you are just recalibrating. And if you do these 4 steps, you will get there quicker. Allow yourself this. We're at the very beginning of the year. It is the perfect time to recalibrate, set your direction. And again, in order to do that, you need to know who you are and separate your identity from survival. If you want to learn more about why you're living in survival and why you feel like you're stuck, watch the episode that I published last week about self-sabotage and your protector self. It dives a little bit deeper into it. That's a good place to start. And then watch this one. If this feels like it's helpful, I'm going to keep talking about this, how to get away from your protector self and get out of self-sabotage, how to actually set a direction, how to actually set goals and a plan that move you forward rather than being stuck. So subscribe, stick around, keep coming back. We're going to go into a lot of stuff that's going to be really helpful.